And welcome back. We are now talking with Christina Muryn, the mayor of Findlay. And thanks, first of all, Mayor, for taking some time with us this afternoon. I know you're busy, and one of the biggest things you have on your plate right now is flood mitigation.
Yes, flood mitigation is definitely always a hot topic in Findlay, but we're making a lot of great progress, continuing work on our Eagle Creek Basin, which the state has assisted us in funding, as well as phase 2 benching, which we're hoping to begin construction on either later this year or early next year.
Well, luckily, we haven't really had any flooding in the recent years, but this has always been a subject that residents have been concerned about. What progress can you say has really been made?
Yeah, so there's really 5 main components of flood mitigation in Findlay and Hancock County, and really 2 of them have been completed and 3 of them are still in the works. We've done some transportation improvements on primary corridors to alleviate some flooding risk, making sure that roads are able to stay open. Additionally, we've completed phase 1 benching, which provides about a half foot of flood benefit in a 100-year storm event, and that's worked very well. We've seen that impact already in the last couple of years. But our 3 final projects are phase 2 benching, which would happen right downtown, rebuilding the Norfolk Southern Railroad Bridge, which currently kind of creates a dam in a 100-year storm event, and then the Eagle Creek Basin, which would be on Eagle Creek south of town to help kind of hold back some of those floodwaters as we start to see the Eagle Creek rise, which then leads into the Blanchard and creates a double peak flooding downtown.
Another subject that has recently come up is the downtown recreation area that you are really trying to get pushed. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so as part of flood mitigation, that phase 2 benching is going to be right downtown on the north bank of the river there at the Blanchard River and Main Street. And with that, there's about 19 acres of property that are going to be benched for flood mitigation efforts. And flood mitigation is obviously their primary focus. But in non-storm events, we also want it to be usable space in our downtown. And so we are looking at developing a master plan and hopefully putting together some engineering to be able to look at what amenities we can add into that space. That might be trails, an amphitheater, a skate park, a splash pad, some shelter houses, a new pedestrian bridge. Those are all components we're looking at right now. And really our next step is refining that to see what makes sense right now. What does the cost look like, and how do we add those in there? But one thing that's really important is the flood mitigation is the top priority, and they have to, any components we put in there, be able to withstand a flood event without substantial damage.
Well, for anyone such as myself who has gone to an event in downtown Findlay, parking is a real headache sometimes, and I know that's something that's on your agenda as well.
Yeah, we're always looking at how do we make sure that we are accommodating visitors and users of our downtown. We want it to continue to be vibrant, and we hear from folks concerns around parking frequently. And though I think we have some parking opportunities, there's also a lack in certain areas, and the Hancock County commissioners are actually looking at building a new probate and juvenile court building right in our downtown that actually would be on the parking lot where our city and county employees currently park. And so there's a potential that we're going to lose 200 parking spots that we need to accommodate elsewhere. So I have reached out to the county commissioners a couple of times over the last 6 to 9 months to say, how do we work together to solve this and make sure that we are providing public parking as well as accommodating our employees. So more to follow on that as we work through what options we may have.
All right, we are inside of a minute now, about 30 seconds. Quickly, annexation. I know that's also on your agenda.
Yeah, so we've rolled out notifications to about 350 parcels that the city's interested in annexing. We are working with them to provide information and kind of look at each property's potential and kind of the impacts that it would have if they did annex. There's a public meeting coming up, as well as folks can get on our website to learn more or reach out to us individually. But we're working with properties to make sure the city of Findlay is positioned to grow, but accommodate citizens' concerns as well.
Christina Muryn, Mayor of Findlay, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We'll be back with more right after this.